This is so much better than store-bought bread. Greetings, salutations, good people. My name is Otis James Bush Jr. This is OJ Cooking. Bread, a staple in all of our lives, and most meals are incomplete without it. Every trip to the grocery store includes some bread without thinking twice. Better have my bread, fam. But what if I told you can make fresh, delicious bread with only 6 ingredients? That's right, we're taking it back to the basics and making some homemade white bread like we all grew up on. So what we gonna need? As I mentioned, only 6 ingredients. Got some activated dry yeast, you feel me? Got some flour, got some sugar, got some water, got some salt, and we're gonna need some oil as well, actually. Forgot about that. And we're gonna need a little bit of oil. Now I busted out the standing mixer because I'm feeling lazy, but you don't need a standing mixer to make this. You can make this at home with your hands, you feel me? You just gonna have to knead it for about 8 minutes. Little elbow grease ain't never hurt nobody, but we're skipping that today. And that's it, man. We're gonna take all of this, hook it on up. Come on with me. All right, good people, welcome back, welcome back. The first thing we'll do is go ahead and bring our yeast back to life. This is activated dry yeast. So you wanna get your water, about 2 1/4 cup of water. You want to bring that to a low boil and then measure the temperature. You want that to be about 114 to 118 degrees. Any cooler than that won't necessarily activate. Any warmer might kill the yeast. And then you want to add, a couple of, 1 tablespoon of sugar to this. Thought it was 2, my bad. But just 1 tablespoon of sugar, or you can use honey. Tablespoon or 2 of honey will do it too. And what that's doing, that's gonna feed the yeast, and we're gonna set that to the side while it come back to life, and we're gonna check it on it in a minute. Right now I'm adding 3 cups of flour, and that's what we're starting off with. I have another 3 1/4 cups of flour sitting off to the side, and then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of sugar to that, 1 tablespoon of salt. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get up in there. We're gonna whisk that up together, man. Let your wrist go, you dig? Yeah, just like that. Set that to the side. Now look at our yeast. It's been about 10-15 minutes, and as you can see, it's coming alive, man. You'll see it start to foam at the top, form kind of like a little, just like a foamy cap. I don't know what else to call it, man. And then we add 2 tablespoons of oil to that. Give it a quick stir. You know what I'm saying? Back in the other direction. And then we're gonna pour that into our initial 3 cups of flour. Just like so. Just like that. Just like that. Right. And then we just gonna mix this together. I didn't really have a real technique to this, you know what I'm saying? You probably could have, taken some better at home, but I just, mixed it up together. Speed this up. I'm gonna speed a lot of things up during this video because, I don't want to waste y'all time. It wasn't the most lengthy process of the mixing, but, the proofing process did take a while. And I'm gonna explain proofing to y'all in just a bit, you know what I'm saying? All right, now we're moving on over to the standing mix. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you don't need this, you know what I'm saying? But it does help, you know what I'm saying? You kind of, add stuff to it and just walk away. But you could also do this in the bowl, using, wooden spoon in your hand, just, getting it in. And we're gonna add 1 cup of flour to this at a time. And then close it back and let that mix and hook, do its thing. While we're doing this, I'm gonna explain proofing to y'all. So there's a couple of different, stages of proofing your dough during the process. The initial proof that we do is going to be, for the whole actual, dough roll that we're going to make here in just a second. And what I did was I used the oven method, right? And you don't want to turn your oven on or nothing. What you want to do is use a oven-safe baking dish. Put that into the bottom rack of your oven. You know what I'm saying? And then you want to put some boiling water into that, and then you go put your dough in the oven. And we'll talk about that a little more. And then you go let that sit in the oven. And you go let it proof for about an hour and a half, while the dough doubles in size. It's very important that you allow it to double in size, and you'll see it in just a minute. And I'm gonna show y'all. But I just wanted to kind of talk about proofing for a minute. You know what I'm saying? If you are gonna make bread at home, I highly recommend that you just Google and study up on proofing. In the whole process, there's multiple ways to do it. And one of the things is you need a warm and humid environment, which is why I use the oven method, because it's brick cold outside. You know what I'm saying? Like Jack Frost cutting up. And so, the inside of my crib is cool and is dry because the outside is dry. And so I wanted to make sure I had optimal conditions for this here proofing. And as you can see, that dough hook made short work of the dough. We continue to add, additional flour 1 cup at a time until the dough reached this here consistency. Now you want it to be, slightly sticky to the finger, to the touch. This was a little more sticky than I would have desired. But I'm not a bread aficionado, man. We learning here, you dig? And you want to move this onto a lightly floured surface and add flour as you go as needed. As the dough starts to absorb that flour, it becomes less tacky and less sticky. As you can see, it's becoming much more handleable. It's not sticking to my hand like that no more. We're gonna add a little bit more flour, you know what I'm saying, so we continue this work. Now what we're gonna do here is just go ahead and knead this on out and finish what we started in the standard mix, you know what I'm saying? Now, all we doing is just smoothing it out, folding it in on each other, smoothing it out, folding it in on each other. And that's just creating the appropriate, I guess air pockets or whatnot, man. I don't know the science of it all, but needless to say, it is necessary, you know what I'm saying? And so we just gonna knead this out for a little bit more. Continuing to add a little flour to my hands, add a little flour to the counter. And the dough is absorbing that. It's becoming much more, firm and, much more the consistency that I'm looking for, you know what I'm saying? And keep at it, just keep at it. A little bit more flour. Flip it, rub it up, smack it, flip it down. Oh no. There you go. Now, eventually you want to form it into a ball just like so. And you want this, seam side down. So I'm trying to smooth the top out as much as possible. Trying to leave all of the seams and creases on the bottom of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Just like so. And then you want to take a large, glass or, stainless steel bowl like the one I have here. You want to grease that down with some spray grease, or cooking spray rather. Or you can use your hand to just use some vegetable oil. You want to put it in smooth side down at first so that side can get coated with oil. And then you want to flip it and put the seam side down. After that, you want to cover it with a large, moist dish towel that you have, clean, of course, clean. And then, we'll get ready to put it in the oven. Now, this is the method I was telling y'all about. I've added my hot water to the baking dish below. That was a boiling water. I added my dough to the oven. And I let it sit in there for about an hour and a half. And as you can see, it is doubled in size, very fluffy. I'm gonna move and kind of push some of the air out of it, with my fist. And then we're gonna move for the bowl back onto a floured surface so you don't get no stickage, you dig? Now what we're doing right here, and of course again I sped this up, we're gonna cut this dough in half because we're making 2 different loaves, you know what I'm saying? This is enough dough for 2 loaves. If you wanna make 1 loaf, you can cut this recipe in half. But I highly recommend if you're gonna do it, may as well go ahead and make 2 loaves. I got 2 9x5, bacon loaf dishes that I've lined with, cooking spray and some parchment paper just to, for an extra added layer of protection to keep the bread from sticking. Now, once you got this in here, you want to, spray some, cling wrap with a little bit more cooking spray. Cover this up, and we're gonna put this back into the same oven that we had the other bread in, and we're gonna let it proof for another hour. And as you can see, it is grouped. You know what I'm saying? And then we go preheat our oven, to 350 degrees. Go ahead and slide that in there. And you're gonna let that bake accordingly. I have all the specifics on the bacon in the comment section, so be sure to check that out. And as you can see, man, we in the game, baby. Yeah. Fresh baked bread for your hair top, man. Flip that out onto a cooling rack. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's looking a little ashy, so I'm gonna go ahead and brush it with some melted salted butter. You know what I'm saying? Look at it come to life, boy. Yeah. Yeah. That's nice right there. I gotta admit, man, that's nice right there. And it smelled like a baker in the crib. I gotta tell y'all, man, this was, it wasn't without its challenges, but this was very satisfying. And now we in the game, baby. Yeah, look how beautiful that is, boy. I am a chef. I am a baker. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't tell me nothing around here. It like it belong on some kind of culinary magazine, you know what I'm saying? Bread Weekly. You dig? You know what I'm saying? Check it out. Just look at it. And I know you want to bite. I know you wonder what the inside look like. Is it moist? Is it appropriate? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Stop this wolves. And I know you want to bite. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You can get you one, man. All right, good people. Moment of truth. Time to test it out. See what it do. Yeah. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging. Hey, this is on point. This, man, this is so much better than store-bought bread. I will be honest, working with dough is always, you know, an adventure. We'll say that. But the more you do it, the easier it get. 6 ingredients. 6. Anyway, man, I highly recommend you make some bread at the crib. It's super easy. You should definitely do this. Follow this recipe. We're gonna do one more bite for the